This is Timeout with Trey Scott. Today I got with me Jon Willis, Greene Central star, football star. I can't really call his position. He's played everything: quarterback, wide receiver, running back, kick returner, punt returner, defensive back, safety. I've seen him fill in the box at linebacker. I'm sorry. Jon, thanks for joining, man. It's good to see you. Good to see you again, and we're gonna have a great show with you today. First, I want to talk about is recently you committed to ECU. Congratulations.
Thank you.
How do you feel?
It feels great. I've been wanting to go to ECU since I was a freshman. All the hard work, my parents taking me to ECU games when I was like 9, 10 years old. This is a dream come true.
So, what are you being recruited as? Are you being going as a DB, returner, wide receiver?
Donnie Kirkpatrick told me I could be a receiver and a kick return specialist.
And who is Kilpatrick?
He's the offensive coordinator. He does all the offensive plays. He's the one that started talking to me first.
Cool. Well, before that, you committed to Navy. Navy's a great school, great football program. Walk me through that process. Walk me through, what was going through at the time. Why did you choose Navy? Let's start there.
Navy's a great school. I loved Navy at first, and then the coaches are all talking to me. I loved it. Everything was great. They gave me the love I needed. It felt like home. Then my parents and we just got closer, and I was like, I can't leave my family. That's like a long drive, a long way. And I felt ECU was close to home, and I want to be back home.
And I understand that you're 17, 18? How?
17.
Making career decisions, it's a big decision that's gonna affect your life for the rest of your life. And there's nothing wrong with changes. There's nothing wrong with making sure you get the right choice.
Exactly.
And congratulations on that, by the way.
Thank you.
Let's talk about the past season. You had a great season, 10-2 as a team. Second round playoffs, lost to Nash Central, a game that y'all could have won.
Yeah.
Against a good team. They were very good. But you had a fun season. Broke records at Greene Central. How much fun did you have this season?
I've had the most fun I've had in any 4 years. This is the best to me. I got closer with my seniors. We came together. We played as one. Last year, I feel like we played a little bit as individuals. This year, we came as a brotherhood, and you see the results, 10-2.
And I definitely saw the brotherhood. I mean, y'all definitely have fun. That's why I make sure I ask how much fun. When I seen y'all out there with shades on. Y'all out there taking pictures. After the game, y'all are still out there on the field enjoying each other, and that's what it's all about. It's about that brotherhood. It's about having that bond. I've mentioned it before, but with Nick Harvey, that brotherhood you build with these football players, your teammates, is something that never goes away.
Yeah.
And it's something that I still, to this day, I'll see guys that's from 20 years ago, and they're my brothers. And no matter where they came from, no matter what ethnicity or what age, it could have been a senior, a sophomore, you grow that bond. So that's something that you will always cherish, and it's something that you're going to keep growing, and you're going to miss them guys, I'm telling you.
Yes, sir.
You're going to miss them. And unfortunately, it wasn't the ending that you wanted. Y'all had high hopes for the season, as you should. I think you won the first 8 games, 7
yes,
games.
7, yeah.
And a tough loss against West Craven, which you got one of your buddies on that squad, right?
Yeah.
Tell me about your buddy.
Braden Manley. He just committed to Mercer, actually. He's one of my close friends. We came close after the ECU camp.
Mm-hmm.
Me and him just started talking about college. We just became close. He understands the grind and what it is to be a college athlete. So that brings us close together.
And he shows it on the field.
Yeah.
That game, that was a tough game, man. And he was out there hitting. He really was. He was out there hitting. I was definitely pulling for the Rams on that one, but Manley was out there really. He showed what he had. He showed what type of player he was, and hats off to him. A great player. And continued after that. Tough loss, like I mentioned before. How tough was that on you guys? You had high hopes. You know how good you were. You were a very good team with a bunch of good senior leaders. How tough was that last loss, knowing that was the last time you were going to wear that Greene Central jersey?
It was very emotional. It hurt. I feel like whenever we lost, I was like, I'm never going to be able to hang with my guys again. Only time I see them is in school, and it's never going to be the same in school. In school, you got a lot of rules and stuff, but on that field, it's just 11 guys being guys. We can do whatever we want.
That's right. And even, let's back up before your senior season, Because y'all guys went through some tough times together. Y'all guys went through some tough times. Your sophomore, your junior year. How hard was that going through them rough spells where, you really didn't have no senior leaderships on the team, respectfully, and you had to go through your growing pains. How hard was it going through your sophomore and junior season, not being as successful but keeping your hopes up to go to the next game?
Sophomore year, I think we went 1-6, 1-7. I still had hope in us. I knew that class of 2023 was something special. I've been saying this since my freshman year. Me and Jamar Coppers, Kamari Hall, Trey Dye, we've always been something special. I feel like we've changed the program this last year. Mm-hmm. Our junior year, we actually showed everybody that we're going to be good our senior year. We already knew that. We had to show people what we can do. And then after that, we just came out and balled out.
And how about playing under Coach Jay Wilson? I know Coach Jay. Coach Jay's a good guy, great coach, great rah-rah. Like, I know he can get you going. He's a player guy, a player coach. How was it playing under that type of coach?
Jay Wilson, he's a great guy. He gave me what I needed to have a great senior year. He gave me the confidence. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you've seen it on Instagram or everything, but when I say I'm him, it came from him because Wilson told me that I'm going to be something good. And whenever he told me that, it just gave me everything I needed. After that, I just became the guy in day.
Well, let's talk about your offense coordinator. How good is the Greene Central's offense coordinator?
Well, he's a great man. He's a stressful man at times. He's my dad, but I love him to death. Sometimes I need a dad on the field, and sometimes I need a coach. Some games I really needed a dad just because I was in my head too much. But some games I needed a coach. So it was kind of hard sometimes to turn it off and on what I needed.
Yeah, and for you guys that don't know, the offense coordinator was Coach Jon Willis, and as he mentioned, it was his dad. And I thought he did a great job. I seen him get on you where you wouldn't know he was your dad. Like he was out there being your coach first, but always your dad first. Always. Hats off to him. He did a great job raising you, and I got to take your hats off to your mom, Yvonne Willis. Hey, my son goes to Greene Central. She's always there for me when I need her. How is it being in the same school as your mom? I know your dad used to work there too. They're arm's reach from you.
I feel like with my mom there, it's a different standard for me. I feel like I'm not allowed to. I'm not going to say not allowed. I feel like I'm not able to do what everyone else does. People in the hallway running around, laughing. You can, hang out in the hallway and do stuff. But when it comes time to go to class, I have to be that guy. I mean, sometimes my mom is going to be on me. It's hard. But it lets me know I'm set to a different standard than everyone else, which is why I'm playing D1 football. So it's kind of good.
So, and this question is not planned, but it just hit my head. But I would see Facebook posts of you wearing your mom's sweater, Crocs, shorts. What's up with that? Why are you stealing from your mom?
I feel like her clothes are more comfortable than mine, man. I don't know. Like the hoodies, the Crocs, everything's more comfortable. I don't know what it is.
Facts. Well, you good with that one. I agree with you. I like being comfortable myself. Let's dive a little bit deeper, man. I think you're the fastest man in GC. What do you think? Are you the fastest man in Greene County right now?
If me and Jamar Coppers line up right now, I feel like I got a chance to beat him. Yeah, matter of fact, yes, I'm the fastest at Greene Central, yes.
And that's all respect to Pooh Bear and Jamar Coppers. Everybody knows that. Both of you guys are real good friends, and both of y'all are great athletes and really fast. Who are some of the other top runners in the area? Yeah, enlighten our viewers. Does Kinston? I know Kinston has a great track program. North of Nora, anybody that stands out?
Kinston, I'm gonna go and say Jameer. I don't know his last name.
Jameer Flowers.
Yeah.
Yep.
Eastern Wayne, Rakeem Faison. Man, the first time I ever met him was at a Kinston meet. Never seen him a day in my life. He came out the blocks and killed me. I was surprised, but then I got him back on the 200. Of course, everyone knows Jamar Coppers. He's gonna be a good runner this year again for us. Let's see, Kendall Colley. He just had a little leg injury. He'll be fine though. When he gets back, he'll be good. And, of course, Josiah Thompson. Yeah. Joe's my twin. Me and him are the exact same person on the track. We go head-to-head every day on the track. So
that's nice. Competition definitely breeds competition. And this is the first time I'm announcing this. Is the perfect time to talk about it, and I haven't told you about this either. Noose Sports is having a Noose track invitational in March. and I plan on bringing all the teams together. Me and Chaparral Pitt are bringing all the teams together in the area, and we want to have a big track meet. It's going to be laser time, 8-lane track, and I definitely plan on bringing those guys in that you just mentioned, and it should be fun. It should be fun, and it's going to get y'all ready for the end of the year meets, the state meets, and it's going to be exciting. How often do you see those guys throughout the year? Do you see all of them through the season, or you meet them at regionals, or?
I see all of them we have meets with Kinston and Eastern Wayne every other 2 weeks, I think. So I see them a lot. Yeah.
Okay. So let's stay on speed. This summer you had a great summer. You had a great summer. You and your dad, you and your parents, went to camps all over. But at these camps, you really stood out. What did you do at these camps to stand out?
I really tried. When I was at home, I just had to keep running. I knew I was fast, but I started with a 4.35 around my sophomore year. And after that, I was like, I'm not really satisfied. So me and, Jay Field,
Yep.
we started going to work in the lab. We just had to keep going. And we went from a 4.35 to a 4.29 at the NC State camp. After that, all college was on me. Everybody wanted to see me run. College didn't even care about me going to the camp. They just wanted to see me do the 4.29 because everyone loved it.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong. I think I heard a story about you that you were at a camp, might have been at NC State, and you ran a 4.3 at first, and everybody looked at their clock and made you run it again, and you ran a 4.29 after that. Is that right? I'm kind of piecing it together.
Yes, sir. I ran the 4.3. Everyone was like, well, what? They were looking around. They called me back over. I said, well, something wrong? Did I run a bad time? They said, no, sir. Can you run it again for me? I said, fine. I ran it again, and I ran a 4.29. And then A&T offered me. State was, watching me the rest of the camp. And then I can't remember what other colleges, but a lot of colleges were looking at the rest of the camp.
That had to feel good.
Yeah, it was great.
It feels good when hard work pays off. It
Yes,
always
sir.
does. I'm glad you touched on Jay Field. Jay Field is a good friend of mine, Jemiah Phillips out of Winterville. He's a Greene Central native. He runs Upstage Fitness. Let's talk more about the training. I seen the videos. I talk to Jemiah all the time. And I know what y'all went through. I know the 5 a.m., 6 a.m. workouts. How much was he part of your success? How much did he help you grow, and what exactly did y'all do during those workouts?
I have to give him all the props. Man, that guy turned me into a machine. The workouts were crazy. We used to do box jumps till I couldn't walk anymore. We used to walk outside in the rain with sandbags. We used to tire flips, lifting weights, agility, ankle mobility. It was a lot, man.
Your explosion lifts,
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah, that's great, and he definitely knows what he's doing. He's just not a guy, he's just not a guy out there saying, "Hey, lift this."
Yeah.
I think he graduated A&T with exercise physiology,
Yeah.
Upstage Fitness. Check him out. Big shout out to Jemiah. Let's go on to your track again. What is your fastest time in the 100?
In the 100, I ran a 10.5. That's my fastest.
Okay, and I think you finished third in the state.
Yes,
Is that
sir.
correct?
Yes, sir.
Was one of those guys that you mentioned earlier, did they beat you?
Yeah, Rakeem Facing, he was number 2. He came in second.
Okay. I know your 4x1 team was really, really, really good this year, but you didn't get the results you wanted.
Yeah.
And I know you're coming right back. Everybody's returning, correct?
Yes, sir.
Coming right back. A mishap at regionals. But this year you're coming back, and explain what happened at regionals last year. Explain, how good. First off, tell me how good the team was. Tell me about who's the first leg, second leg, third leg, fourth leg. Walk me through your 4x1 team.
First leg is Kendall Colley. He's a great runner. We weren't expecting him to be as good as he was. In the beginning, we were just trying something out because we lost our best runner last year, Jaden Tyson. We lost him, so we were just trying something. We had Kendall there, and he did good through all the meets. He was great. The second leg is Josiah Thompson. Josiah's been here with me since my freshman year. Me and him have always been great runners. On the 4x1, he's been doing good. Been the second leg the whole time. And third leg, Jamar Coppage. Everyone knows about him. He's just an explosive runner, player, everything. Anything we need, he'll do it. I think it was one meet, North Pitt meet, we were in 4th place. We've never been in 4th before. And I guess he was a little mad about it. He ran, he caught all 4 guys, and we came in first. And then me, of course. The last leg, I think I'm a really good runner. I think We all have a special place in the team. So yeah.
Yeah. And I don't want to give all the props to Jay Field. You know, Coach Wilson's the man.
Yeah.
How good, and that's your track coach, and that's your weightlifting guy. You know, how much is Coach Wilson just as passionate in track as he is in football? Is he still the player coach there too as well?
I want to say that Wilson's going to carry it over from the season. I know everyone saw his pregame yelling, prep talks, whatever you want to call it. It was a crazy season. Everyone's going to see him do it again in the track season.
Who else? Who's some of the guys during the track season that maybe we can need to watch out for? Any younger guys that that you can see coming up being good this season?
The JV running back, DeJuan Cobb, Christian Tavares, Oki Edwards, definitely. He's a good runner, yeah.
Okay, good deal. We'll definitely be on the lookout for those guys. All right, let's say take sports out of it. Mm-hmm. Let's say hypothetically 5 years from now, where do you see yourself being? It's a tough question because I know you're locked in right now. You're locked in high school. You're locked in on football, you track. But you're also a 3.6 GPA, I believe. And, you're a smart student.
Yes, sir.
You're raised very well. What do you see yourself being career-wise?
I see myself as an entrepreneur. I like to serve people. I would like to own my own business. I think if I had to, though, the business would probably be a gym, most likely. Because even if I didn't have sports, I still like to be in shape. I like to work out, so I think I'll still do something like that.
And this is something I've been touching on in my last couple of episodes. I touched on with Dory Hines, Coach Dory Hines, and Nick Harvey. Getting recruited nowadays is a little different. Back in the day, we had to rely on our coach. It was your coach. Hey, coach, did I get any letters? Did I get this? Did I get any emails? But nowadays, it's different. Nowadays, you got social media. You got a bunch of camps, and everything's accessible, video-wise. When did you start your recruitment process? When did you know that you wanted to play on the next level? And how did you start getting recruited?
All right, so my freshman year, I really didn't even have a position. I really was just out there playing football at quarterback. Didn't even know how to play quarterback. Sophomore year.
Timeout. And this is timeout with Trey Scott, so I can do this. I have this paper right here. 452 passing yards, 85 carries, 924 yards, 10 touchdowns, 10 yards per carry, 47 receptions, 1,000 yards receiving, 13 touchdowns receiving, 5 or 6 returning touchdowns on kickoff this year. I forgot to mention that earlier. I just want people to know how much of an athlete you are in every position you played, and you were very successful at all of them. And I didn't mean to cut you off. And that was let's go back to and I just had to throw that in there because I forgot to mention it. But I'm sorry to cut you off. How did you start your recruiting process again? Go ahead. My bad, John.
Sophomore year, they had a little camp. It just came out of nowhere called the VTO camp. Me and my dad were in the living room. He said, "John, I think we should try this," because it was at Rose High School, and one of my dad's friends is the coach there. So that's a connection there. We just started going to that. From there, I went to the camp. I did pretty good. I ran a good 40. I ran like a 4.3. They were happy with that. Then North Carolina Prep Red Zone had emailed me saying I was a top-ranked DB. So from there, I went to another VTO camp. And a college coach started talking to me. Everything just started falling in place. Then I met a guy. Me and my dad talked to a guy named Keith Sampson. And he told me about Twitter. I hate Twitter. I didn't even know about Twitter, nothing about it. And he was like, nowadays coaches aren't gonna text you a number. They gotta see you on Twitter and getting active up there. Then from there they just start talking to you over and over. And then he was like, okay, so now you need to start going to more camps. It's not just VTL camp.
Right.
Go to college camps like state. I went to the state camp, and then I went to the ECU camp, and then I went to Wake Forest camp. It's all about camping. Like, a lot of camps are gonna help you get exposure, and the more exposure you get, the more you need to post it on Twitter, let coaches know what you're doing, make sure they know you're working. If they don't see you working, they're gonna think, oh, he's not doing anything, and all that posting on Instagram is not gonna help at all. I mean, college coaches, they see it, but it's not worth it. Instagram really takes away from your recruiting. I learned it the hard way. Like, anything can happen on Instagram. Instagram's it's a good app, but it's not gonna help you with recruiting.
You have to be mindful of the things you post nowadays, because it is a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
It definitely can help you be out there, but if you're not putting the right things, it's going to be out there. So definitely watch your social media, but let's piggyback on to Twitter. If you want to find a coach, it don't matter if it's D3, D2, 1A, D1, whatever, they're on Twitter.
Yeah.
They're not just on Twitter. They're on Twitter with their guaranteed they at least have their email up there. So that just shows you kids, like, if you want to be recruited, don't rely on your coaches. Don't get me wrong. Your coaches are definitely there for your best interest, but you have to do it yourself. You have to go out there and put your work out there. You have to go out there to the camps. You have to present yourself. You have to show what type of person you are and what type of athlete and what type of student you are.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what you have done, John, and I'm proud of you. And I'm very serious when I say that. I've seen you grow. I've known you since middle school, and you have done the right things. You have done the right things. You have approached it the right way. I remember watching those VTO camps on your Instagram story when you didn't know who I was, and I was proud of you. I remember sending you a message because I was a defensive back at Greene Central, and I'm very proud of that. I'm very proud to represent Greene Central, and I was very good. And I would beat my own chest. I am the best defensive back at Greene Central ever. And that's debatable. That's a different story, but. My only point was, when I seen you doing it, I was proud of you, and I knew you were doing it the right way. And it just shows you showed the way for the other kids.
Yes, sir.
I didn't know nothing about that. I didn't know nothing about being recruited. Twitter wasn't there for me. Whatever, the videos wasn't there for me. Just great job, and you set an example, and it's going to pay off. The other kids are going to follow you. Your teammates are going to follow you, and it's going to keep paying off.
Yes, sir.
Let's go to our next thing. Tell me about Henry Danger, iCarly. What does that mean to you?
That's my inspiration, man. Henry Danger, it's my show, man. I love it. It's my favorite show.
So you still watch it to this day? How long you been watching it?
I've been watching Henry Danger since I was like 6, 7. I'm never going to stop watching it.
And shout-outs to your parents for that. They gave me that little piece of information. How much does your brother and sister mean to you? And not mean to you, because I know they mean the world, but growing up, seeing your brother do the right thing, seeing your sister do the right thing. Your brother's at A&T now. He also was the football player at Greene Central, a very good football player at Greene Central at the time. Looking up to them, how much did that mold you into who you are?
My sister, she's at Greene Central, so she really motivates me a lot. She won't let me do anything bad. She keeps me out of drama. She don't even let some girls talk to me because it's another bad friend. I love my sister a lot. Without her, a lot of stuff wouldn't have got done. She gives me money for stuff, to go this place, for this, for that. Jay, he's my role model. Jay is the guy I can say, I can actually say I have a brother that's positive in my life. My brother has always been the guy that, John, you need to go do this. John, come with me so we can work out. John, it's 6 o'clock. We got to work out at 7. Come on, get ready. John, we got to do this. Jay's always told me, led me the right way. He told me how to do it and why to do it. So I'm glad I got Jay.
Yeah, it's awesome to have those figures in your life. And it definitely paid off, as it shows. He showed you what to do. He showed you, even if he didn't tell you directly, you look at him, you see, all right, to get in this school, I need to do this, I need to do that, I need to do that. So role models are important, especially when you got a big brother like that that's successful and is on the right track. John, that's all I got today, man. This has been great. It's been a great time with you. We're following you. We're going to be there at track season. We're changing the game during track as well. Hey, I'm going to be there recording you on them 100s, 200s, 4x1. You got to show out.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank y'all. Timeout with Trey Scott.